Well, hello everyone. This is Creating Cards with Sherry. I'm Sherry, and you're looking at my Tickled Tuesday video today. I'm so grateful that you have decided to join me. I'm gonna share all the uh, dimensions and things that you need, but if you need to look at it again, you can always go to my blog and find the instructions there on how to put the card together and so forth at creatingcardswithsherry.blogspot.com. If you're interested in purchasing anything that you see here of our products, be sure to go to my shop at creatingcardswithsherry.stampinup.net and use the host code 2WTSTBHR for any possible rewards. All right, let's get started. Today we are going to make a Valentine waterfall card. Isn't that cool? I just think that's a lot of fun in how that works. So we're going to do one similar to this. It's not going to look like this, but it is going to be a waterfall card. And we're just going to, let's see, we're going to be using some round brads at some point. And we'll have a piece of ribbon. I think this is 11 inches about. We won't be using all of this, but I like to get an excess amount so that I make sure that I have what I need. We're going to be using the Country Bouquet stamp set. We're using some stamps from there. And we're also using the collection kit that came out this month called the Love Treats Kit. And you get to make all these different boxes and you can put treats in them. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take parts of this as well, of the stamps and also the stickers, and I'm going to combine them with the Country Bouquet and to make our card today. All right. Other tools that you'll need, you do need a paper punch. The smaller the hole, well, I shouldn't say the smaller. You don't want it so tiny you can't get the ribbon through it, but you want a small hole punch if you can get one. Take your pick tool, your bone folder, of course, the paper trimmer to cut all the paper ahead of time. And I'm going to be using our colored pencils, watercolor pencils, and also the Memento ink and the Sweet Sorbet ink. All right, I think we're all set now. Okay, you're going to need, and these measurements are a little different from the regular size cards that we've done, so make sure that when you make this, you're paying attention to that. This is 8 1/4 by 5 5/8, scored at 4 1/4. All right. Then we're going to need 2 sheets that are 5 1/2 by 4. One is going to go as a top layer on our card, and one's going to go inside. And then you'll choose the DSP that you want. I chose this DSP or designer series paper from the Country Floral Lane designer series set. And this is 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then you need a strip that is 8 inches long, 1 1/2 inches wide, and you score it in 4 different places. You will score it at 1 1/2, 2 1/4, 3, and 3 3/4. And then you'll just fold that over so it's all set to go. And you'll have it ready. Then you're going to need one more smaller strip that is 4 1/4 by 5/8. And that will help hold our waterfall strip together. Okay. So I am going to be using my multi-purpose liquid glue today for all of these things. And I'm going to start by putting my white pieces where they belong. So that will be our top layer. And this will go on the inside. You always want to have a white layer inside, especially, oh, well, I shouldn't say always. If your card is light enough that you could write on it and the receiver could read your message clearly, it's fine. But if it's a darker color like this, you definitely want to put a white insert in there so that you can write your message on it. Okay? Then we want, oh, I forgot to tell you too, you also need to have 4 squares that are 1.5 inches and 4 squares that are 1.25 inches. And we are using the Sweet Sorbet cardstock for that and the basic white. All right, I'm going to start by stamping my images on the basic white. So I'm going to, let's see. Take my Sweet Sorbet and the stamp that I've chosen. Now what I did to start this is I looked at different stamp sets. I chose the stamps I wanted to use, and then I laid them in the order that I want my waterfall to go together. So that's just a suggestion. It helps you, organize it, I guess you could say, or know what your next step is. Oh, I forgot that these. That's not what I wanted. Let me see if they have another one in here. They might not. I thought those flowers were all open and I could just color them, but they're not. Okay, let me wipe this up, the ink off of this, and I'm going to get a different color. Okay, the other color that goes with this set is the petal pink. So I'm going to go ahead and use the petal pink on this. That'll make some really light flowers. And then it's also easy to take your colored pencil and color in over the leaves. So this is my garden green. Okay, and I'm going to grab some real red here. And these are hearts, so I'm going to make sure that they're a little darker than the flowers. Okay, there we go. That's my second one. Then this one, I have chosen to use one of these hearts. And the stamp that says hugs and kisses. And then what I'm going to do is, this is actually a sticker, but the sticker is too big for the square. So I'm just going to cut the actual heart out. And remember, when you're cutting, you're moving the paper, not the scissors. Okay. And then I'm going to put that on my square. And then my last square will have my little message. And I'm going to make sure that I center it right because it's just small enough. There we go. All right. Then what we're going to do is we're going to glue all these to the red squares. Just put these aside then, and we'll let them dry. Stuck to my finger. So. Now, one thing you can do on the inside of your card, you can always stamp another image or something just to dress it up a little bit, and so it's just not plain looking when you open the card. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a set of hearts right in the corner on the lower right hand side, and that'll just make it look nicer and a little more inviting. Okay. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to take the DSP and the small strip, and let's see, I'm going to line this up so I know about where to place it on the paper, because you want this curled strip to be centered pretty much on the card. And we're going to end up putting this end on top of this strip. So the bottom will go underneath the strip and the top will be adhered to the top of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on the ends, just on the ends. And don't go all the way to the end, because the reason this is longer is because it's going to stretch across the whole card. All right, and then I'm going to remove this. And then I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool. Oh, I gotta get this back in here so I make sure I center everything correctly. Then about right here, I'm just going to poke a little hole in there. And same thing on the other side. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our brads in there, And that will just help secure our waterfall in place. And there's not as much room for it to slide around that way. And the reason we do this first is because then we can glue this to the top of the card and you won't even see the back side of the brads and that sort of thing. I'll put that right there. Okay, now let's work on the waterfall itself. What we're going to do is I meant to have my tear and tape here and I don't see it. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to place our cards in the order that we want them, just underneath the score line. So this is actually your first score line. So I'm going to take this. You don't want to put it on top of the score line because if you do that, then it won't fold for you or move. So you want to put it just under the score line. I should have started from the bottom. It will be easier to do it that way. And then, let's see. Then we want this one. And again, oh, here, I can flip it over that way. I want to put that just under the score line again. Oh. And the same thing for the last one. I would suggest when you do this that you start at do your last one first and work your way up. I think it'll be easier to get them all glued in the positions that they need to be and that sort of thing. So you won't have to fight with it. I mean, I haven't really fought it, but, you know, it'll just be easier to do it that way. Okay, I'm going to take my paper punch. I'm going to go in here and punch a hole. And if you can get a paper punch with a hole that's a little smaller than that, that would be better. That just happens to be the only size that I have. And then I'm going to take both ends of the ribbon and stick it in there. Pull it through. Oh, and that's going to be my tail. All right. Then we're going to put this long flat end right in the middle there. And I'm going to take some tear and tape and I'm going to put it on the back side of this, right there. Oh, so you want to put it not where this overlaps, not where that square overlaps, but you want to put it at the top of the bottom of that strip, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's coming out of my mouth right. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you want to line it up in the center between those two brads. And you're going to press it down there. Okay? And then the card is finished. All you have to do is pull the ribbon and you have a Waterfall Valentine's card. Isn't that cool? I just love these. I think they're so fun. I see this is a little crooked. I'm trying to see if I can move it yet or if it's too late. Okay. So there we go. There we have our hearts, some flowers, hugs and kisses, and Be My Valentine. All right. That is today's card. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Again, for further instructions, you can go to my blog. To make this card, I would actually get the instructions and work on it and follow the video as well, because it's difficult to explain some of this on paper. So make sure that you work with both as you make the card. All right, thanks so much for joining me today. You have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we will see you on Simple Sunday. Bye now.